What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Hard Facts, back like Craig Mack, kicking that brand new flavor in your ear. As always, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Welcome to the channel. And if you stumbled upon this channel on your YouTube adventures, YouTube sent you here for a reason. If they put this video in your suggestions, they put it in your suggestions for a reason. So, since you are here, please like the video, even if you don't watch it. Like the video, but more importantly, watch the video. And if nothing else, subscribe to the channel. You don't have to turn on the notifications, just subscribe to the channel. So let's go ahead and get into this content. Now, this episode is about the concept of men paying for women. Now, that term is broad because there's a lot of things that fit up under the umbrella of men paying for women, where that essentially leads to sex. So that's the whole transaction. Men paying for women, where sex is involved. Again, broad concept because there's a lot of things that fall up under that umbrella, which some people don't conclude, they don't assess it and don't conclude it in these ways, and then other people don't acknowledge it. But the reality is what it is. There's a lot of things that fall up under that umbrella. But let's go ahead and look at this dating coach's look at her perspective on that concept.
Never ever be with a man that has ever used escorts, sugar babies, massage parlors, any of those things. Never do it to yourself, girls. I promise you'll regret it. Even if you are the escort that is going to marry this guy, trust me, this is a man that pays for validation. It's a man that will pay to feel desired. It's a man that's not willing to work on himself enough to get the women he desires. And more so than anything, it's a man that doesn't look for emotional and spiritual or intellectual connection with a woman. He just looks for what he sexually desires. I know you're going to say, oh, all men have that desires, all that. No, not all men. All losers have that desire. The desire to just have a woman that is just good for them sexually. The biggest red flag is men that pay for sex is they're usually porn addicts. They are absolutely addicted to pornography. And how you know that they're addicted to pornography, never ever be with a...
Okay, first and foremost, all men who are not virgins. So this statement does not apply to virgins, obviously, because sex is not even in their reality. But all men who have sex, have had sex, pay for sex. All men, every last one of us. If we take a woman out and our intention, this is the first date we've been on with this woman, the first time that her and I have spent time together around each other. And that man's intentions is to end up sleeping with her at the end of that night. Everything he does is for that sexual encounter. That's paying for sex. The simple act of one night stands and anything that a man will do in the involvement of that one night stand. Whether he's paying a little bit for this activity or he's paying a lot for this activity or that activity or those activities that are involved in that date. That's paying for sex. I mean, this is fucking reality. It can't be said any plainer than that. That's why I really can't add anything to that. For those of you who want to argue against what the scenario that I just painted. That's self-explanatory. That is so simple within its structure. A man going out, ladies, a man going out with you with the intentions of hopefully sleeping with you at the end of that night. And if not that night, to carry forward for several days after that. Any of his um, attraction to you and involvement with you, to carry that forward to eventually sleep with you, which is the end goal, is paying for sex. That's exactly what it is. Everything that men do from the time that we have an understanding to make something of ourselves, everything that we do is geared towards the attention and the ultimate capturing of a woman, with the whole goal to be to stick our dick in her. Whether that results in family, whether that results in marriage, whether that results in pregnancy, and now we have to think more towards serious things so that we can take care of this kid that we have on the way. It all started from sex. And the sex all started from dating, which entails spending, having to have some kind of finances or income, some kind of job, some kind of way to bring in income, resources, to where you can go reach into your wallet or go into your bank account and spend some money on the shit that y'all doing. Everything a man does, from the point that we understand that we have to put some kind of attention and focus on who we are going to be to produce and provide, is with the intent to get a woman to sit on our dicks. We have to do the things that society says we have to do in order to get the woman. We don't want the woman for her conversation. Point blank, period. It's nice where you have that. It's nice where you have a woman who is not a dumb, big tit, bimbo blonde. It's nice where she's not that. But all in all, we will settle for that because the whole end game is for her to sit on our dick. That's the whole end game. Now that we've accomplished that and she ends up being a dumb, bimbo blonde, now we have a problem with that. Beforehand, we didn't. And honestly, we probably did, but we overlooked it. Because everything we did, who we make ourselves to be, the jobs we get, the education we get, so we can get the bank accounts that we have, everything we did up to the point of grabbing her attention to be able to have the resources to spend time with her and spend things and money on her, was to get this dumb bimbo, again, to sit on our dick. We overlooked all the other shit. Now once we got her there, she's there. Paying for sex can be done in that way. All of that I just described as far as the dating aspect of it. Or it could be a brothel, strippers, whores, prostitutes, escorts. Or it could be done that way. Either way, it's the instant gratification of ejaculation. Either way, it results in that. And the point being is that was the whole intention. That was the intention from the start. Whether we did it through dating or whether we did it through a brothel. The intention, the thought from the start, because it's the thought that counts. The thought from the start was, she's attractive. I want to facilitate her to be able to get a nut out of my dick. That's what I want from her in the near future, if not tonight. There's a woman whose interview that I, among probably millions of other people, watched, where she's a queen pin of a brothel. That's the best term. That's the best I can give at giving her a term. She was a queen pin of a brothel in New York City. That's a money business. So you're going to have a type of client who is the highest paying type of client. Those highest paying types of client were the guys from Wall Street whom were married. And that's how they entertain themselves. That's how they entertain their business partners and their possible business accounts. That's how they spent their money. That's how they spent their time. So if she's saying exclude men who do this, well, she is saying that. The woman in this video is saying exclude men who do this. Well, for starters, that's all men. And then secondly, that's definitely men with money. Men with money. I don't care if they make $100,000 a year. I don't care if they make $100 million a year. They make enough money to be able to host whatever potential female candidates that they have on their radar. They make enough money to host. So they're going to spend it. And those men with money, that's what they do, even where they're married. So she's saying exclude all men with money. The point that I was bringing up about the woman with the brothel, and I may not have said this, is in her interview, she said that the highest paying clients were guys from Wall Street. So I can't remember if I made that point, but that's what she said. She said the highest paying clients were guys from Wall Street who are trading millions of dollars every day, and they are making money off of day trading, where they're making this money every day off of the trades and transactions that they made that day. And if they prospered that day, depending on what accounts they're holding, how they're moving the money around, and their commissions, they made hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million fucking dollars that day in their commissions, moving around hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $500 million, if not $1 billion, depending on how many accounts they hold. They're moving that shit around daily to make a profit for that day, and they could commission off of that. And then to get more accounts, they're going, as a salesperson, they're going out to find accounts, and they do this through mingling socially, happy hour, things of that nature, strip clubs, the golf course. So, I mean, I hear what this woman is saying. We all hear what she's saying. She thought it sounded good. It sounds like it makes sense. It sounds like it's a reasonable approach. It would be a reasonable approach in a different society, in a different culture. But remember, we live in a capitalistic culture. That's the culture y'all women want to benefit from, because y'all want to be equal and y'all want to have the same jobs and the same salaries. And so that's what you get in the capitalistic culture. This works. That is what happens in a capitalistic culture. The thing that she is speaking against, the concept she's speaking against, is what actually happens in a capitalistic culture. What she's speaking for, that will work in a different culture. In a different culture where capitalism is not the rule of the day, where you don't have a type of society that moves the way they move because of capitalism. In a culture where things are different with the type of women that are in that culture and the type of men and the gender roles being understood. What she's saying would work in a different culture, but not in this culture. So if you are of the first world country and you are in the capitalistic culture and you watched her video, women, I mean, I'm speaking to you women on this statement, y'all have to be able to decipher between what works and what doesn't work and what sounds good. And although it sounds good, it doesn't work. I mean, what she's saying sounds good. It sounds great. It works for another culture, but we don't live in that culture. You want big pimping, you want big ballers, you want to be the power couple, you want the man that makes the money, you want to have your degree, you want to be able to make 6 salaries or 9, you want to be able to make 6 figures or 9 figures from your salary. That type of lifestyle is not of the culture that her scenario works for. So You gotta pick your poison. You gotta pick your poison. I mean, you either picking the poison over here where all the men, everything we do is paying for pussy. And that's the society that you live in. And then where it's a capitalistic society, the men with the money are definitely paying for pussy. You either take that poison or you take the poison of a society and a culture where they don't have first world creature comforts. They don't have the money. They don't have the capitalistic structure set up. But they do have the structure set up for family. A family life, a wholesome life where people are marrying when they are virgins and they aren't worried about sex. They aren't worried about dick size. They aren't worried about guac 3000. They aren't concerned with that shit coming out of adolescence into adulthood because they are virgins when they marry. They have religion. They're Catholics or they're Jews or they're whatever their religion where they match people up and this, that, and the third coming out of adolescence into high school, into puberty and adulthood. You take that poison, and there's things about that not to like. So that's why you can consider it poison. You take that, or you take the capitalistic poison. Y'all women need to be able to decipher the information that you come across for the truth of that information and be able to weed out what sounds good. Now, this woman, she's a dating coach. She normally hits on all cylinders, but this time she didn't. So let's look at one of the comments on that idea about she wasn't hitting on all cylinders on this one. So Tommy Milton, he states, she's normally very logical and professional, but this sounds a little personal. So I commented, yeah, she missed on this one because she did. And that's very unlike her when it comes to dating and talking about the concepts and qualities of men and the concepts and qualities of women, gender roles. She normally on point all the time, so I tip my hat to her for that. But somebody commented back to me, and she said she definitely did not miss. I could never let a man inside me who paid someone to pretend to enjoy him. OMG, how desperate can you be? Again, I mean, people throwing around ideas and statements without thinking about the facts behind what they're saying and what they really should be saying. All men pay all men pay for pussy, and then a lot of those guys are paying for someone to pretend to enjoy them, even if it's a relationship. There's women in relationships with guys because y'all women have been exposed to all sizes of penis. There's women in relationship with guys who she considers his penis small. So there's other things that he has to do to keep her happy, which is essentially to keep her attraction to him, to keep her liking him. So you could consider that pretending. Because if he doesn't do these things, she will let it be known. She's not going to pretend anymore. She'll let it be known that she's not happy. She'll let it be known like, nigga, I ain't happy with you. You ain't doing nothing to make me happy, and your dick ain't good. She'll let it be known. So he's paying her to be happy with him so that he can have access to her sexually, although she's not even attracted to him sexually. Everything about the concept of what I just said is transactional. Within a relationship, although there's love involved, it's still transactional. There's a lot of guys with average size or small penises. And they have some woman they're in a relationship with, and because she's been exposed to different sized penises through promiscuity and fucking outside of marriage, she's not happy with him. And y'all women tell each other that she should be satisfied and settle for catching the man who has some money or some kind of lifestyle to compensate for the fact that she's not sexually happy. with their sex life. So that is the same thing as what this commenter is trying to preach against. Paying for attention, admiration, so on and so forth, and it being disgusting. Everything about what I just explained of what women do in relationships where they're not satisfied with the sex, it's the same damn thing. Same damn thing. So, I mean, I don't know what, I'm not going to say enjoyment. I don't know what achievement or gratification that the women get out of hearing this message, and then they gravitate towards it, and they like it, and it speaks to them. I don't know why. I don't know what they get out of hearing this message and liking it and thinking that it means something. Because when you put it in the context, she missed on all cylinders on that one. She missed. If I was to give her the benefit of the doubt and say I could understand where she's coming from, let me think about that. Where could she possibly be coming from? Don't ever date a guy who does that. I don't agree with that. Maybe she's on point about he's seeking instant gratification. Okay, he is. That's true. That's correct. Doesn't mean don't fuck with him. And it also, more importantly, doesn't mean that he's different than other guys because other guys aren't doing what he's doing. Because that ain't true. Every man is doing what he's doing. Every man, by even taking you out on a date and hoping that a one night stand happens. And for some men, accomplishing that one night stand. Even doing that is paying for pussy. Paying for instant gratification, the admiration, the attention and focus of some woman, and what she can do for my dick. So I mean, it's not too much benefit of the doubt that I can give her, and what she was saying, I can't really find too much in her I agree with. But that is the explanation behind men doing what we do with our resources in relationship to sex, women, relationships, pussy. That is what it is. But if y'all made it this far in the video, as always, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like the video, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel. It's not going to cost you nothing. Hit that subscribe button, but it'll mean a lot to me. So until next time, y'all be easy.